Welcome back to the A.K.A podcast. A.K.A. Barcelona is about to win the treble. We've done it. We've
Right,
done it. It's
take advantage.
happening.
Take
It's
advantage.
happening. For context, we've been gone for a pretty long time. A lot has happened since then. Our last pod was previewing the second leg of the Atletico game and of the Champions League, determining, and also the games that were coming up ahead. We were at the time second in the La Liga table. That has changed since then.
You were second at the time.
Yeah, we
The
were
last
second
pod?
at the time.
Really?
Yes. So the last
Damn.
pod we were second. That's why we had lots of the discussions about what we should do between the games. I was a pretty heavy leaning towards us not starting our main players in the Atletico game. That kind of changed an hour before where I kind of wanted us to. But anyways, I think that makes sense that the place that we should start at is Barcelona beating Atletico 3-0, but sadly not being enough. Amr, how did you feel about the game?
Obviously they had us dreaming. They had us dreaming. But look, for
Mhm.
me, like I pretty much agreed. Like we disagreed on that pod, but the overall point I think we're aligned on, which is that we don't really care too much about Copa del Rey. I'll be honest with you, even to the point where it's like, if you just give me Champions League, I'm good. That's all I want.
Yeah, genuinely. Like, we're
Is
too good at the league.
like I know that sounds a bit long, but my point was with the Copa del Rey was that I saw it more as like a pride thing that we actually at least have to go for it, and I really thought that it can set up a very good precedent for the rest of the season. Like I felt like it was more of like a morale booster, and even though we weren't able to ultimately get it, Araujo as a striker in the last 10 minutes kind of shows the situation we're in, but I felt like it was enough, and I think you feel similar, where you left feeling like proud and accomplished, obviously gutted a bit,
Yeah.
but not to the point where it's like, oh, like we lose the Copa del Rey. Like that wasn't really the main thing. It was more like, oh, we got so close and we didn't get it there. But overall, like I felt like it set like a really good precedent for the next games, and obviously we beat Villarreal, right?
Of
We
course,
beat
yeah, the game
Sevilla,
before that. Yeah.
and then we'll eventually talk about the Newcastle game.
And yeah, of course, that puts a little bit of emphasis on the performances of Marc Bernal, who has been absolutely amazing for us lately. He scored two in that game. But, stay with me now. Don't, don't let me land when I say this, okay? In the case of the remontada against PSG, us winning it, and I'm not saying it's the same group of players, I'm not saying same mentality, it's not the same manager. It's like there is a lot of factors involved. But even when we did the remontada against PSG, we went on to the next leg because we got away with losing 4-0. We went ahead and lost 3-0 to Juventus. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's almost like built up this mentality where we didn't
You didn't learn.
show that we needed the urgency. Where in this case, you could argue, in the Copa del Rey setting, it might have been ideal the fact that we went down, then made a comeback, but didn't go through. It's like almost like you still received the punishment, but you show what you were capable of. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I think that helps that it's like a competition that even the players don't necessarily like weren't too desperate for. Like you can even see it towards the end. Like you could see them like cramping and like like they
Just subbing
weren't.
off.
Yeah, yeah. Like they weren't desperate to the point where they were like sacrificing their season for it. Obviously, I think the main downside is that we lost Kunde and Balde to injuries that game. To be
That's
honest,
very true, yeah.
but
Although
I agree with you on the
mm,
Kunde. Honestly, one of the fullbacks
Conte was
going down
class. Conte was
that
great.
game. Yeah, that game.
I'm having a conversation about Balde
Yeah, I
and
was
how
gonna say like
disappointing he's.
one of the fullbacks going down was ultimately not too bad because then it brought on Cancelo, which again, like we'll talk about how good he's been. But just to finish off on the point is that I felt like I agree because we weren't that desperate. Besides Araujo coming on, like it did show a sense of like maturity to it. Yeah.
Right. I completely agree. Of course, I kind of went over the fact that we beat Villarreal 4-1, which was still a huge game. Um, we even had Lamine scoring his hat trick in that game,
Yeah,
so it
and
was
baller.
it was that was a huge performance for us. We just have a lot of games just around kind of flying through it. Of course, how have you felt about Lamine Yamal recently? I feel like that's also like pretty big
Yeah, I
point.
mean, yeah, I mean, like he said it himself. Like he felt that even though his stats were better this season, that he wasn't playing like happy, right? And I
Right.
felt that. I felt that. I felt like he was a bit like he wasn't pressing as much. We talked about that a lot. Like let alone the goals and assists, and like his defensive work was lacking. And now it's like Ramadan Lamine. Like man's
Ramadan, I mean, mashallah, tabarakallah,
that was just I think random words right there at the end. But yeah, no, here, but Lamine, dude, to be honest, like he's definitely like taken a step forward this season compared to last season. I feel like he's been much more efficient and like mature in the sense of like I mean I guess we'll talk about it a bit like towards the end of the Atletico game, not really, but throughout the 90 minutes, I feel like he's much more efficient and he's just going for it much more.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're giving a good 90-minute performance, we can't like thrash you for just being inefficient in the last couple of minutes. But it was kind of shades of the Inter Milan game. Bro. I remember
Exactly.
sitting there and kind of he's like trying to whip it. Or like Gerard Martin also had that strike towards the end of the game that like I'm like, sorry, Gerard Martin, you shouldn't be done shooting it. You know, there's always this thing that footballers do, which is like after a player shoots it, and they weren't even like shouting for them to leave it. The player behind them that played like the dummy, he's like, "Oh, you should have left it. You gotta leave it." Like, bro, it's like Rafinha did it even in that situation, and you always feel like you always say that after the fact. But I understand, like it's just footy in it. Right? That's how it works.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't a bad shot from Jared Martin. But yeah, I think with Lamine, he felt like a sense of like pressure to like be the one to get them through. It's like interesting, man. It's like people always say that you want your main guy, or if he's the guy, he wants to call for the ball and try things. Obviously, if it doesn't pull off, you look like a donut, and like,
yeah.
why were you trying that? You're doing too much. But then if it pulls off, you're like the guy, you know?
It definitely was a lot worse in the Inter Milan context, considering we were up.
Yeah, we're up. Yeah, that was just naivety, I would say. Like
That was
this,
naivety. In this case, it's just like he's rushing it. He wants to be the hero as quick as possible. He feels like, oh, I'm running out of time, running out of time. Almost like
yeah,
how I would think I would or someone else would imagine that they would end up doing on the football pitch. Where it's like if your team's like towards the end, you just panic. You're not used to this like
yeah,
you just want to
exactly,
get it quickly. You know, you don't.
exactly.
You're not
Almost
managing time.
like towards the end of a FIFA game, you just start like forcing.
Yeah, that's exactly. And when you play in FIFA, and you're down a goal and you it's like the 88th minute in your head it's like I only have one attack left and it ends up being like three or four attacks that could have gone out of it, you know what I mean? Maybe 88th minute's
Exactly.
a bit stretch, but going on to continue on the Lamine Yamal performances, in fact his best goal, my opinion, of the season, unless I'm forgetting one, against Athletic Bilbao. Beautiful pass by Pedri, and Lamine Yamal absolutely whips it. And I mean, you know what it is? I can't lie. San Mami's not scary. It used to be scary back in the day. 2 to 3 years ago, Ika Munyan was giving me heart attacks, man. You know what I mean?
But Elaborate would, dude,
Then
both.
in a trumpet, Messi scrapping him, getting us reds. You know what I mean? These days, man, them that Vivian got nothing. You know what I mean? So these Williams brothers got nothing. Okay, first of all, these any brothers they got new that's last name Garcia, they mean nothing to us as well. Okay, because they keep used to be Raul Garcia, then it becomes something like Alex Garcia. They got Eder Garcia. You know what I mean? None
Yeah,
of these not scare us.
yeah.
Thoughts on that game? I don't know if like there's
I mean,
too
to
much.
be honest, there wasn't much in it. Like, it's obviously like you know there isn't much opportunities. I would just say on the goal, like it's just like magic from Lamine and Pedri. Like Lamine even said it after the game. He said that like Pedri's passes are incredible. I'm just running on the pitch like in space, and all of a sudden the ball's in front of me and I'm in on goal. And that's literally how
Yeah.
it felt. You know,
This goes into discussion. I mean, who's Barca's best player?
it's a good question. I was thinking about this.
'Cause I have a very strong opinion now. I've
I
come to
think
a
last
conclusion.
season, I would say it was Rafinha, just based on like pure numbers. I think for me, the player, and this is how I quantify like who's the best player at Barcelona, is the player that we'd miss the most, and it's Pedri.
So, in the context of if I told you who's the best player in the world, then you had to rank it.
It's
Is
Lamine.
Pedri higher than Lamine and Rafinha?
No, just because I know how like football works, and like if you're the guy scoring the goal, getting the assists, and you can dribble past like three or four guys, like obviously they're gonna rank you as the higher, better player. But if you ask me as a Barcelona fan, who would I rather
I'm
miss out?
asking you regardless. Who, if you're, it's your ranking of who the best players in the world are, who is higher for you? I'm not saying who you need to back and bend your races because you think it's realistic. I'm asking because tell me.
That's this. Yeah, no, look. For me, the best player in the world is Lamine. Okay. But who is the most important for Barcelona? It's Pedri. And if you know, you know. That makes sense.
I understand. Can I tell you something?
Go on.
Disappointed.
Go on.
I'm disappointed
Why is that?
because I wanted you to stand on it, and let me tell you why. Because I think Pedri is definitely the best football player in the world. I will go to my grave believing that at this moment in my life, Pedri was the best player in the world. I'm done playing this game of being like, oh yeah, Pedri's just a really good midfielder, and but look at the attackers, look what they're doing. I'm done with that. I'm finished with that. Pedri Gonzalez, this guy turned around three players every single possession. He protects a ball like no player I've ever seen in the midfield space. What he does routinely on the football pitch, no football player could do. Which again, like I don't think Pedri going forward, attacking, shooting would do what Lamine Yamal does. So that's why it is still a debate. I'm not outright, but I'm saying I am done saying what different than what my eyes see. When
Yeah.
I watch the game,
I don't disagree with
it's
anything you just said. Honestly, like I don't disagree with what you just said. Like Pedri
but
for
then
me,
why didn't you stand on it?
he's the best player, best midfielder in the world. It's just for me. I think like maybe it's the same way why I loved like Messi, Neymar, Suarez so much. It's just like I appreciate Pedri, and like I told you, like he's the most critical component in our team. But like there's something about a guy that can dribble past three or four guys and rapid top bits. You get me? Like
I can
that's just me.
I
That's
can
just
a
me.
thousand
Like
percent respect that.
watching footy.
But
And
Amr, when
then
I watch Pedri, I genuinely don't know 99% of the time how he does what he does. Somehow, I think if you took all his decisions in a football match, and I think 99% would turn out to be the right decision. And of course, you're a midfielder. There's a lot more. You have to be at a higher rate, and that's kind of what you're made to do. You're meant to do a lot more simpler things. Lamine Yamal, like for example, as an attacker, again, I'm not going to compare the dispossessions. The whole point is Lamine Yamal is meant to create some magic
yeah,
for a
try.
goal, which requires dispossessions to occur, which requires some like a bit of swaz, a bit of this, a bit of that. But when I watch football, I can't believe what Pedri does on a football pitch every single game. The consistency that he shows. I think if Lamine Yamal was this Lamine Yamal, every single game, the way that he's been in this last recent stretch. We'll get into Newcastle game because I don't think that was one of his best
Yeah, I don't think
performances.
anyone, to be honest. But yeah.
I think if you get that Lamine Yamal, I'm willing to say Lamine Yamal is better. But the maturity that Pedri currently plays at, it's like I know the brother. You know what I mean? Like I swear, it's like I know he takes 2 showers a day, blood. You know what I mean? Like, sorry.
Yeah.
But I just I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah. Definitely there's absolutely there's more maturity to Pedri's game. That's for sure.
I just think Pedri is. I think
I mean, like, look,
Pedri surprised.
if I want a team of 11 players, like every day of the week, it would be Pedri. Like, easy.
Pedri is my first player I choose in any team in the world, anywhere. I would pay more for Pedri than I would for Lamine. That's I believe
I
that.
hear it, just because he's in the core of the team. Like that's mainly
He
why he runs the. You could say he takes the ball from the defense.
Pedri is football. Pedri is football to me.
I hear it. I hear it. I hear it. I hear it all.
Okay, moving on to our next game, the Champions League game. I feel like I left the game happy. What do you think about the game? We get into,
Yeah, I mean, I left happy. I was gonna leave very angry.
who?
Like my head was on Mars. Wallah, it was like steaming. But and then before that, I was gonna leave like neutral. Like that was in like a 5 minute span. Like all these emotions came to me. I went from like, okay, like at least we're learning, to like my head's on Mars, to like what a dub. It feels like we just won 3-0. That's the overall feeling that I got. Um, Actually, for that game, like I'm gonna tell you in like two parts: 87th minute, 88th minute, and beyond. Okay, in the 87th minute, before they had scored, believe it or not, I was actually about to praise the defense, including Araujo. Okay, you have to put yourself in my shoes and our shoes
Right.
before you go into.
Everyone believed that Araujo, how he's playing at right back, was doing well.
Yeah, I
Keeping
thought
him
that
away
he
from
was
central
doing a
position.
job. He was doing a job, especially because Eric. I mean, quite literally, I would say Araujo that night was our fourth choice right back, because you could say Kunde, Eric, and even Cancelo. I think we have a fit left back would have started ahead of him, right? At
Yeah.
right back. So for me, I actually thought he did a job. Like maybe it's not to the standard of like Barcelona, but they were keeping a clean sheet. Obviously, heavily helped by Juan Garcia up to that point, right?
Just
But they
two
were
for
keeping a clean sheet, and like you mentioned earlier with the Juventus thing after the PSG game, I just want to go into that game still in it in the second leg, right? I don't want to repeat the same mistakes where we go to a big away game and then we end up um, conceding 3 or 4, and then we have to do something crazy in the return leg, right? So to that degree, I was actually feeling like, you know what, we're getting the job done. They were like quite aggressive. Obviously, it's an away ground in the Prem, St James Park. Like even in the midfield, I think they fouled Pedri like, I was gonna say 6, 7 times, but 4 or 5 times, right? Many times. So I was actually gonna praise that, and then the goal happens, and my head, oh my days, I wasn't fasting at the time, but if I was, it might have been broken, dude. Right? This is like at night, by the way. Right? Araujo, it goes from I think time wasting. Was he trying to time waste? It wasn't even clear what was
Yes, yes. So he was sitting outside of the pitch, and then that would mean the play
right.
can continue. So
Right.
he tried to crawl, one of them crab leg walks, okay?
It's so
And he,
obvious.
and he and he went back on the pitch to try to waste
And you know
time.
what? You know what? I'm fine with it. Okay, like let's say you had a cramp, and but you know what? I'm trying to keep the ref occupied. I'm gonna get back on the pitch. The ref clocks him, right, and they tell him to get out. It's a bit
Yeah,
embarrassing, right? That happens. You know what? Fine. He gets back on the pitch after the goalie takes a goal kick, but that's where I can't believe he's not just sprinting back into position. All right, he's walking back. All right, fine. He's already messed up in that part. He gets to the final third of the pitch, and for some reason, he just chills at DM. You've already got back at that point. Why are you still at
might be our
DM?
fault. It might be our fault. We've been playing him as striker at this point. Well, maybe
You just forgot.
if you are down, if you're 0-0 in away end, you might should be defending with your lives. This guy was moving like a striker in Atletico Madrid system. You know what I mean? Like was
Believe it.
like
He was just
like
watching in DM. Like he was just
he
chilling
wasn't
there.
even marking at DM. He was passively watching. Like I'm convinced this brother had an out of body experience because there's only way I can explain it. This
Bro,
brother thought this brother thought he was still back in like Uruguay, bro. You know what I mean? He still
believe it.
thought he was on a mental health break and he's watching Barcelona on the TV, blood. You know what I mean?
I
Like
couldn't believe it.
I
I had
think watching it back, I swear you try to justify it. You try to
But
look
for me, in my head, I was like, surely he's got an ACL injury. Like that was the only thing I got. I
yeah,
was
like
like,
you better
surely,
stop.
yeah, like that's the only explanation. And then I saw some people online. They were saying Juan Garcia should have come out. Rafinha should have marked him.
Oh my
Absolutely not.
god. Oh my god. Orish, listen, Orish, I'm calling you out. Listen, Orish, I'm
It's
calling
red.
you out. Let me tell you something, Orish. Dude, this guy Orish, yeah, the goal goes in. Why didn't Rafinha mark him? I swear to God, I was about to go. I've got to just break something. Let me tell you why. He's like, nah, but he's there. I said, you're punishing a man for doing more than he already should. You know what I mean? Rafinha was
He was
occupying more space than he should have.
absolutely. I mean, I don't expect Rafinha to be there at all. Even then, he kind of makes a move towards the ball, even, which I don't
Yeah,
expect him at all to do.
brother. Rafinha was practically dropped the deepest any right winger has dropped in years. But you know what I mean?
I
It's
can.
disgusting that you would bring it up, Arsh. You should be ashamed. You should go, bro. Watch football, okay? Watch football. Well, tell me when you see Turkey dropping that deep. Tell me when you see Turkey dropping that deep.
I mean,
Tell
look.
me when you see Doku dropping that deep. When you see Doku dropping that deep, then come chat to me. Come chat to me about Rafinha's
Yeah,
actions.
no. It's completely on Araujo. The way I see is that so at that point I'm fuming, and everything at 87th minute has gone out the window. And
You know
then
what's
comes
crazy?
on.
Sorry. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? That you even brought up the fact that people were saying Rafinha. Because I was vexed when Orange was saying it. And he's like, I just saw Araujo move like he's at the Paralympics. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like,
Yeah,
dude, Araujo looked like he was looking to listen to where the ball was. You know what I mean? Like, it was
no, no,
absolutely,
it did look like I think when you said he was disassociating, like that's the one.
that's,
Like
dude, he literally became a ball watcher. He became one of us in the stands. You know what? I don't know if he knew where he was. I think he stopped. He said, "Am I in Newcastle?" You know what I mean? He just saw some people like, like he's absolutely lost the plot. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry, I cut you off. But I actually can't believe that you also brought that because I was so vexed at the time. Rafinha should be marking him. Rafinha should be
I
marking
even
him.
saw some people saying Juan Garcia should have come out. Rather, he almost saved it. What does it have to do with the man? Harvey Barnes completely by himself. So at that point, I'm
Oh
fuming.
my god, yeah.
At that point, I'm
Kareem, the
fuming.
guy that was with me, also said Juan Garcia should have saved it. He was like, "Oh," I said, "What do you mean, oh?" I said,
No,
"What
no,
do you
I
want
mean
brother to do?"
that's like you're not looking at the preventative like cause. Point is, I think what happens then, and I
He's
think there's
English, we
actually a big
understand.
part about how we get back into the game, and who's now demoted Araujo to fifth choice right back. Xavi Espart comes on. This 18-year-old I've never heard of in my life, right? And
Well,
keep in mind, like you knew Lamine when he was like 13.
I thought Xavi was coming out to give Victor Fonte like a presidential
Yeah,
campaign
yeah.
message, bro.
And keep in mind, like this is a massive player we don't know, and you were following Lamine on Insta when he was like 13, right? So
Hey, no, wait. What are you
no,
doing that for? What you do that for?
no,
Because
but
Elias the other day brought up the fact when he talking to Alex Val at Como, and then I brought up the fact that he was like in that team with Gavin, them, and Lamassi at
yeah,
13 clips,
yeah,
and people have been throwing allegations, and I
yeah.
don't appreciate
I'm just
as my
saying,
own.
the
I don't.
youngsters. That's what I'm saying you
I
keep up.
don't. You said what?
You keep up with the youngsters. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I don't appreciate you as my brother coming testifying against me.
No, no, I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
appreciate
like,
that.
like you're tapped in with the youngsters. That's all I'm saying.
What do you mean, bro? I used to just watch top 10 goals of the week for La Masia. Was it top 5?
Yeah,
The
that's what I'm
Barcelona
saying. Yeah,
YouTube channel.
yeah.
That's
And you
all I
didn't
used to.
have a spot. So that just shows how unknown this man that this brother was. Right? But amazing in the 1v1, and such confidence for a guy coming on for his debut in a Champions League away game in St James Park, where they probably got some fat Geordie like screaming at him, right?
I've got an interesting take on this big one.
But yeah,
Like I just
he
yeah
was
I
a
just
big reason why we ended up going for it, right? He was winning the ball back. And then, to be honest, just like a moment of magic from Danny Olmo, right? And I saw
yeah.
somebody, I forget who it was, but he was talking about Danny Olmo and how he's such a strange player because anywhere else on the pitch, a lot of the time you feel like he's almost falling over himself, right? Like when he's dribbling. But then for some reason, once he gets into the box, 2011 Messi.
True. That's so true.
You know what I mean? Like in
I've never seen a player like Danny Olmo, bro. If the ball's in the air in the box, even for something like that, he'll just start tapping it over people. You know what I mean? Like, I basically this guy going off topic. You remember like Valverde's goal against Man City, the one where he kind of taps it. I said, dude, that was such a Danny Olmo goal on the chat with my boys, and everyone starts flaming me. You just threw Danny Olmo in there. I said, you don't know ball. You know
No,
what? I
no,
said, you don't
that's
know ball.
exactly what something he'd do. Like those little intricate like touches without fouling. By the way, the
Yeah,
point
yeah.
is,
It's always just. So I mean, it's literally just this. Like, yeah, this is that. This is that. Like it
and
just
then
is.
and then the pen. I can't lie, I was bricking it when Lamine stepped up. I couldn't believe that wasn't Rafinha. To be honest with you,
But
and we
yeah,
even saw this past weekend when he scored a brace. But fairs, it was ice cold, ice cold. And to be honest, like especially in a game where I felt like they were absolutely putting it on us with like very to little space, little to no space, especially for Lamine. I don't mind him walking away with credit for scoring like a last minute pen. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
so yeah, that's how I see it.
I think one thing I wanted to bring up is that there's a pretty big debate, and I'm trying to like see if I've just been rage baited or not. But there was a Newcastle fan page, and it seemed very serious because they usually only have very serious posts. They don't do
Can I
rage
guess?
baiting. Go on.
Is it about Pedri? Okay, because I
It
saw a
can be
lot of people
about.
saying that Newcastle dominated the midfield, and I couldn't believe that.
I'll say one thing. The guy said, "We played against 12 men tonight." That's what the Newcastle page said. Okay. So let me tell you something. Yeah, for all you Geordies out there, you're lucky I don't step into Newcastle. It's a joke. It's a joke. No, none of that. No, none of that. And if I do pull up, I want my Somali brothers to cheat, like helping me out. You know, I'm joking. It's a joke. It's a joke. I love Geordies, Newcastle, all that. I'm not built for that life. What I was gonna say is, I actually think the thing that gave Newcastle a huge advantage in this game was the leniency of the ref on both sides, but it also has to do with the strategy of how they want to approach it versus how we want to approach it. Just the natural case that they are a significantly more
Physical.
aggressive team and physical team. Lewis Hall kept Lamine in his pocket. Like I know it's a pretty big statement to say, but I do believe
Pushing
it.
them back. Yeah, yeah.
But because he's like literally throwing them down. And I remember Lewis Hall had a really bad tackle, but I don't think it was on Lamine. It was on Pedri. And it was funny because Hall had already gotten like two warnings at that stage and didn't get a yellow. And then Tonali went on to make like a very soft tackle a couple minutes later and then got a yellow card for it. And clearly, like the ref was kind of going off a basis of I'm giving warnings to your team, it counts for everyone almost, you know. But the fact he was not handing out yellow cards early, and I believe the Tonali one was it was his first and only yellow card of the first half, which was pretty mind boggling
You
for me
mean
to see.
first and only foul, not the other card, right?
Only yellow card of the first half.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Newcastle in general, right? Not just
Newcastle in general, it
yeah,
was
yeah,
their only yellow card
yeah.
of the
Okay,
first
okay,
half.
okay,
Even
okay.
Barcelona and Newcastle, both sides,
Mm.
we were on one. And I think it said a lot about like kind of how the game was because if you watched the game, you'd have expected a lot more yellow cards. It was a lot of fouling, a lot of dirty plays. Kind of came to our benefit when Lamine Yamal kind of lost his head and just tried to like ball up Lewis Hall, which would have resulted in him missing the second leg,
Yeah, yeah.
which is good. But like I just feel like Newcastle caused us trouble. Like I think Osula, although not effective, was very like hard.
yeah. He's
I would say
clearly
very
like
hard.
a player with lots of potential. Sola.
Lots of potential and very like chaotic. He causes a lot of chaos.
Yeah, yeah, but he's clearly not polished. Like
Yeah,
his final touch in the final third, it was a bit dodgy, and it's
and I
mainly
can't lie. Like,
I think
yeah,
Anthony Gordon will probably start in the return leg. He was sick that game, so he came on
yeah,
late.
which is again their top scorer and actually top scorer in a single campaign for Newcastle. Um, yeah, I mean Jacob Murphy coming in actually did scare me at the time, and
He
now
was
it turned
doing
out to be
decent, to
right.
be honest.
Yeah, I think he delivered the cross, if I'm not wrong, to Casado. Sorry, not Casado, Barnes. I don't know why I just said Casado. I feel like Barnes and Casado maybe like both short. Like I'm not heightist, anyways. But yeah, there's only three yellow cards in the total game. One to Cancelo, one to Willock. Anything else you want to say about the game? I just kind of said like Lamine Yamal, not the best of performances.
Not the best, but like neither was anyone else. Like my main concern, because I mean, for example, like Rafinha, like an example is like I felt like he was nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
But my main concern for the entire team, to be honest, and even these whole stretches of games, even going back to the Atletico game, and like you could say that we're in like a pretty good run of form, even with the Newcastle draw, because now we can go back to the Camp Nou, like basically like the game never even happened. My biggest concern throughout these entire games, including even the Sevilla game that we just played, is the striker situation is
this is
shambolic.
really bad. It's really
It's
bad.
shambolic.
At least it seems to be a priority for Laporta, who just won the presidential election, to get a new number nine.
I mean, absolutely, but like I'm like this season, like I don't know who you would. We started playing Rafinha as striker towards the end of the game at St James Park because I don't think
Yeah.
he can trust Liwa and his cranky knees, right? And he can't, especially with the mask. By the way, he was missing like
Liwa was absolutely non-existent, and it pisses me off because only like he was so uninvolved, and they bring
right,
up
and
Ferran.
then even the Sevilla game. I mean, the issue with Ferrando is that he is existent, but he's existently bad. Like you see him get these chances in front of goal, and he just misses.
Yeah, I
Right?
wish you got like Liwa's finishing and then like Ferran's like ability to get the chances. Like Liwa disappears, Ferran appears too much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you
Um,
see too often. Like I don't know. how would you approach this? Would you just start one of them? Because keep in mind, we don't have time to experiment really. Like, would
Yeah,
you just start one of them, or would you do something a bit more outrageous, like Rashford at striker or Rafinha at
I
striker?
wouldn't do Rashford as striker because that goes into a point I wanted to bring up. Who I think he had one of the worst cameos I've ever seen bring into a game.
Reys.
In terms of just pure, he was crossing it, I swear, and he was completely missing the box. Like it was so
Yeah,
bad.
and
It was so bad.
I think what pisses me off more about that is that we saw what he did last time at St. James Park. We've seen him obviously as the most experience against any of the Prem teams, and we've seen that right hand side you can get at when you're running down, and he came on with fresh with pace. So he by far had the highest expectations to do
Yeah,
something, and he let us down
yeah. I think was very disappointing. Now moving on to the next game, Barcelona Sevilla 5
at the Camp Nou.
at the Camp Nou. I would start. I'd still start Diva.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it now. In the Sevilla game, man was missing everything, like everything, even from a finishing standpoint. And like, I get it. For me, actually, when Liwa plays, I feel like Rafinha and Lamine do play better, just purely from the fact that they don't pass it unless it's like a goal scoring opportunity. Like all
Yeah,
Liwa think about is goals. When Ferran's there and he's making runs, I mean, to be honest, they're decent runs sometimes. So then they feel compelled to pass it to him, to Ferran, and then he just misses the opportunity. So then
yeah,
it's
yeah.
they don't take it on.
Ferran,
Liwa
Ferran is the
plays.
biggest morale.
Yeah.
Bro, for me, Ferran, I genuinely believe hurts the morale of the team. That's why I'm not starting him. And I think Rashford, his like attitude in certain times, which I know has like been kind of the
Yeah, at least his
downfall
body
of him.
language. His body language.
Body language is terrible. Barcelona Sevilla 5-2. Rafinha with the best hat trick of all time.
Very dodgy. Very dodgy hat trick. But
Or yeah,
look, man, he
thought
still scored both pens. I thought he was gonna
yeah.
give the second one to Liwa, to be honest. I thought that would have probably done us better in terms of team morale. Third one, obviously a deflection. But he still got a hat trick. I thought
So
overall it was a good, very good confidence booster. And for me, the man of the game, Rafinha got the hat trick, right? I'd give it to
Cancelo.
Cancelo. Cancelo was unbelievable, right? Both pens came from him, right? And his goal, just out of this world.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know if there's much else to say about the game. It was a great performance overall. And then you have the Cancelo with a great performance, Olmo getting a goal, continuing strong form, strong case to start in the second leg of Newcastle. That moves on to us previewing the next upcoming Champions League game against Newcastle.
Yep, cool.
Okay, let's maybe we just want to say our starting lineups.
Yep, all right. So in goal, I'd go Juan Garcia.
Yep. I think we'll just come to one where we agree on it, you know?
I think, I mean, I'll first go with the obvious ones. Cancelo at
Yep,
left
I
back.
left.
At left
Yeah.
back, definitely.
Yep.
Two of Jared Martin and Kobarsi, which, by the way, I just want to say, in terms of the word underrated this season, Jared Martin has to be on that list. I'm being so real. And at center back.
A center back, yeah.
In
We
terms
talked
of
about it earlier
underrated.
in the season, the benefit we get out of having a left-footed center
Yeah,
back,
exactly. I mean,
but I don't like it. I just don't like. I
no,
get
I
it,
mean,
but
fair enough. We definitely need left-sided center back.
like I like Tarjab still.
But like in terms of like what I've seen, like maybe the bar is in hell, but what I've seen from Araujo, like Jared Martin's like pretty class, right?
So
Right?
Espart had a very shaky performance against Sevilla, in my
I
opinion.
don't think so, to be honest. I was actually gonna say he starts for me.
I was gonna say he starts, but I would say that like now I didn't mention this earlier, but even in Newcastle first leg game, he played amazing with his cameo. But it is, I mean, you have to watch. Like, I wish we had more data on him in terms
Yes,
of like watching him a long time because there's certain things like the slide tackle he made in the box against Newcastle.
it's
I
very eager.
respect it, but it's eager and it could have gone really wrong.
I agree.
And it's not the ideal way I would want. Like for me to feel content with a right back, if he could have just tackled it cleanly, I would have felt a lot more comfortable.
Right. I mean, like, look, as long as he keeps pulling these things off, he's like
Exactly.
amazing. But all it takes is like one opportunity for it to go wrong. For me, like I thought he was pretty good against Sevilla. My main concern, and it kind of links to what you just said, is that he doesn't know when to go back.
Yeah.
He's like very excited and he's always going forward. He doesn't have that same composure that like our other right backs had. But my reason why I'd start him is that I'm done with this like sadistic ritual of starting Araujo and then getting clapped and conceding a
No,
goal.
yeah, yeah.
I'm done with it.
You're starting Xavi Esparza. Like if I saw Araujo starting, I might like, dude.
Because okay, we don't have enough data on Xavi Aspart. He's played the 5 minutes against Newcastle and then started against Sevilla. But we have data on Araujo, right? And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to keep starting Breda and conceding. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Um, Also, something we forgot to mention about the Sevilla game is that also Gavi's back, which is just a big dope in general.
yeah. Of course, it was nice to see him back. Although to be fair, he had a hard quote. You saw what his quote was.
No,
He said like, "I'll come back as many times as Barcelona need me," when referencing his injuries or something like along those lines. And it's pretty like he was basically saying like, "Bro, if you just kept getting ACLs, like I don't care. Like I could like keep breaking my ACL and keep coming back."
yeah, I mean, like, we don't want that.
Yeah,
But like, no, definitely, and it was a good comeback, like a good few minutes that he played. So I would
yeah.
say,
Xavi Espart was actually a DM also in his
yeah, yeah.
Barcelona.
Honestly, he plays like Casado. For a second, I thought it was Casado against Newcastle
Yeah,
because they never even actually showed the sub happening. But and then two, I would put Pedri Bernal. That's for
yeah.
sure.
That's obvious.
Even Pedri, he got a good rest against Sevilla. He came off early, I think, at halftime. And even Bernal came off, like, I think 20, 30 minutes ago. So that's nice.
Yep, correct. For Casado.
The wings, obviously, I'd go Rafinha and Lamine. I think the 10 is where the question is. Based on form, I'll go Olmo to start. Based on
Yeah,
form.
I'll agree. I'll agree. I think for me, he's a really big hit or miss sometimes because
However, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say that he can be a very big hit or miss purely because he's so direct, but there's just times where like his finishing is a bit eager as well, you know? Like
Yeah.
he starts to think he can do a lot more instead of like laying it off.
Yeah, which
But
honestly, I don't mind because I feel like we actually lack shots a lot of the time in the team. But for me, I would say the only downside to it is that I feel late in a game, especially when the opposition starts sitting back, I prefer Olmo coming on than Firmino.
that's true. That's true. You want against a deep like a low block, you probably want an Omo because of his creativity and ability to
Yeah,
navigate the small spaces. But Firmino's a lot more effective in open play. So
yeah,
I feel like maybe you do have to start Firmino, but then that would be kind of disrespectful to Olmo. Like you know what I
exactly.
mean?
It's
So
just more of a thing like Olmo's on the better form, but I think for the overall like game plan, it's better to start with Firmino. To be honest.
yeah, especially because Newcastle will be a lot more open to start. So
Yeah, and I trust Olmo honestly more coming on. Like Firmino, when he comes on and we like pull him out wide or something, like I just don't think that.
by the way, if we were 1-0 down going to this game, I think the conversation would be maybe you just start Olmo.
Yeah,
Because I think Newcastle might genuinely try to just sit back for 90, and this is the benefit we get of having that 1-1, Lamine Yamal converting the penalty. So because of it being 1-1, I think maybe you just have to say Fermin. I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then at striker, did you agree with Diva or no?
Dude, it's just I would say yes, even if it was just off the Newcastle performance, but the Sevilla performance was so I couldn't believe
Just
it.
remember, you're choosing of the lesser bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I guess I'd go Diwa. I guess
Like
I'd,
I would
Liwa just 'cause he's
really
out of the way.
what?
I'd go Liwa just because he's out of the way, like when he
Yeah,
plays. To be honest,
and I would not dream of starting Rashford personally.
no, no,
Regardless,
we
I
haven't
would
even
not.
tried it really this season. Also, one
Yeah,
last thing is that shout out Kubarsi, man.
shout
Since
out
that
Kubarski.
Atletico game, he's been that's the
I've been
Kubarsi
actually
we
one of the
remember, dude. That's the Kubarsi we remember.
yeah.
Like,
I've always been kind of critical of Kobarsi, and just not in terms of saying that he's by any means bad. I just think that maybe we called him world class, in my opinion, a bit early at the time. And I think he's actually improved though. Like I know you're saying it's even the one we remember, but I think as of recently, he's improved, and he's by the way, the guy's been has had the worst people to play next to him of all
Oh yeah,
time.
like, as
The
like a
bro's one called
year old, I can't believe he has to lead the line.
exactly. Again, like I think lots of the mistakes he had had in his career, some of the slide tackles he had made that I was critical about, of course, were most of the time forced upon him because of bad situations. But I think he could have made better decisions.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I see like a tactical shift. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the rest of the team pressing, maybe. But for me,
I
he's
agree, bro. But
more.
we said this. I
Yeah, yeah,
said this. You go back 20 pods back, bro, where I was just saying to criticize a high line for existing is disrespectful to any team that has ever won with a high line. Bayern 2020, Barcelona 2009, Man City any of the last 6 years, you know? Like, I actually found it disrespectful to act like a high line meant something bad. Now, there's sometimes we could drop it a bit deeper, but press matters. Like, if press doesn't exist, a high line doesn't work, you know? If
yeah,
you
definitely,
press,
definitely.
make the passes harder, you know?
And I feel like maybe that's the reason that Kobarski's doing much better. But he's been much more on the front foot, which is exactly what we always respected with Kobarski. I remember Napoli in like his debut season when he man marked Osimhen. Like that's because he was like super aggressive, right? And he was getting in front of him. Um, but yeah, man, yeah. So I'd go Liwa just because he's out of the way. That's my
Then,
limit.
of course, Lamine. Um. Okay, so that would be our lineup. So just a review: Juan Garcia, Xavi Espart, Kobarsi, Gerard Martin, Cancelo, Bernal and Pedri, Rafinha, Fermin, Lamine, and Levan Golski. All right. Anything else? We want to review some of these Champions League games that we saw over the last week.
I mean, look, man. I guess credit where it's due. That Valverde hat trick is insane. It's just insane.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. Couldn't believe what I was. Well, this guy 6 months ago is sending an apology on social media for how bad he's been.
I couldn't believe it. I will say the first goal. I don't know why the hell Donnarumma doesn't just palm it away. Like it's
He
right
thinks
next to
he's
his
outside of
hand.
the box.
Yeah,
He
he
thinks
thinks
he's
he's outside
outside
the
of the
box.
box. I think this guy's traumatized for mistakes he's made.
Must be,
And
must
by the
be. And
way,
I mean, with PSG
Courtois.
and Madrid, yeah, dude, Courtois. You see the one with
It
Nico
doesn't help.
Riley?
It doesn't help when Donnarumma's across the pitch of Courtois. The one with Nico O'Reilly. I don't know how he does that. Nico O'Reilly when he taps it away and steals the ball,
Yeah,
he can like shoot at the same time. I don't know how you react like that.
it's
I don't know.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I think the year this is so controversial, but the year Benzema won the Ballon d'Or, I was like, you could easily give it to
Bro, I
Courtois.
swear. I swear. I
The
swear.
Champions League final, he's the only reason why they won it.
I mean,
Only reason.
is there a way to be a more influential goalkeeper, like in that position? Like, is there a way to be like that season? He was insane, insane, absolutely insane.
Courtois, for me, bro, I think I'd put him as a top three goalkeeper of all time. Figure out who you're kicking out. Figure it out.
This new gen.
Figure out. Huh?
No, I mean, like to be honest, I don't think that that's controversial. Like Arbeloa even recently said he's the best goalkeeper in Madrid history. Like period. Like so
Yeah.
you put him above
So I
Casillas.
thought Arbeloa made the decision. We kicked out Casillas.
But yeah, man. Uh, so credit where it's due. The second goal is also just insane, and the third goal is like it's just insane. Like I don't know what else to tell you. Like,
I remember how did I describe it? I said his first goal was
Bale.
was Gareth Bale prime.
Second one was
The
Holland.
second goal was Holland, and the third goal was Daniel. Okay,
Hey, don't
and
say
I
that.
get like
Don't,
jokes.
don't tell Mandem that. But
Huh?
I hear it, but don't tell Mandem.
The
Don't tell
thing that I
Mandem.
told them, they can't understand. So why did you sneak in Danny Olmo? But the goal was very Danny
It's a
Olmo.
style.
Whatever
It's a
the best
style.
is Danny Olmo is that. But like,
Yeah.
I think for that first goal, I almost don't want to blame Donnarumma because the touch and the control Valverde had. He had the first touch, second touch he was past the
By the way,
keeper,
by the way,
and the control
Courtois
to do
left
that.
with an assist. Like, he assisted that goal. Like, what do you mean?
No, but Valverde did take it through like that. I don't even know how he had control in his second touch to keep it on the pitch. To be honest,
And keep in mind, dude, he also he
but
scored
yeah,
against Celta Vigo in the last second. He even this weekend, I think he scored against Elche, got an assist. Like
yeah.
he's he's on crazy form, to be honest. Do you think they can come back, City? No, at the Etihad, you don't see. He gave them the day off today. Apparently, they did that before a game against Dortmund and then they won 4-1.
Yeah, but you know what's beautiful? Vinicius missing a pen.
Mm-hmm.
I'd apologize
Dude,
to
it
his
would be
mom.
lovely if you could like if somehow City brought it back, you could like look back at that kind of like how Dembele missed against Liverpool,
Yeah.
you know. But
But I'll say
I don't
one
see
thing.
it happening. I don't see it happening.
Don't hate. Valverde performs significantly better when Jude Bellingham isn't on the pitch. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. He has more freedom, I would say.
I'm not saying you're worse with Jude
I mean,
Bellingham.
otherwise, he's
I'm just
playing the
saying
right.
that's
You know? Like if
yeah, he's playing like right mid. I mean, if
right,
Trent was in that game, so he's playing like right mid last game, kind of almost like
yeah,
occupy
like a
more.
winger almost.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, also,
definitely,
Jude's back, so I guess see if that continues.
yeah.
So you don't think that they end up coming back?
How about you?
Uh, no, just purely Courtois for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like purely, like I don't see them scoring 4 goals against Courtois.
By the way, like regardless of them winning the Champions League last year, and I don't think it's Donnarumma's fault for like the goals were pretty crazy, but it is Donnarumma isn't the most safe keeper to have. Do you know what I mean? Like he always has a mistake in him.
Yeah,
Um,
I would say I had that exact same opinion, bar last year. Like last year,
yeah, I agree.
he,
I agree. It's just like we're talking about like 5 out of the 6 years, he's probably made mistakes. I'm
yeah,
just saying that like when
he
you
was
have
immense
Courtois
last
across the pitch, it's harder to come back with a keeper that like dude Donnarumma has the capacity to make a huge performance. You know,
year.
like he did against Arsenal last year.
I mean, look, man, there's a conversation like to be had even about some of the City players like that game. Like Pep got criticized for starting Husanov, even though before that, like he was playing more expansive with his fullbacks. Holland only has one open play goal in 2026. That's concerning.
Doku is Doku is Dookie.
Dogo's doing it.
Doku is Dookie. We're calling Doku Dookie now.
You know, and I'll be honest, he deserves a bit of that because when he was good, he was getting like best winger in the world shouts.
Saliba and Gabriel made a mistake with saying them on that YouTube video.
Yeah.
They
So yeah, I don't think they come back. I think the other talking point is that the rest of all 6 Prem teams, not a single one had won their game. Liverpool had lost to Galatasaray. Arsenal drew to Leverkusen. Newcastle obviously drew to us. Madrid or City got slapped. Chelsea got slapped. Even though for me Chelsea got slapped, but to be honest, they were in it. They were in it for a very long time, and they just imploded.
Kvaratskhelia had a great game, even though he only scored at the end.
I saw someone say that like the only reason why this guy doesn't get rated more is because it's just hard to say his name, and I hear it. I hear it.
Yeah. Bodo Glimt, by the way, Bodo Glimt is an interesting conversation to have because they were the worst team, arguably in the Champions League, up till their league stopping.
Yeah,
So their
November.
league stopped. And this reminds me of the COVID year where teams like PSG that didn't have that their season ended earlier, they ended up performing significantly better in the late rounds of the Champions League.
Yeah.
And it's like they do get like an unfair rest, you know?
Yeah,
They
to
have.
be honest, I'll be honest. Like we're saying that now. If you told me ahead of time, I thought that meant that they were gonna get slapped. To be honest with you, like I thought that meant they were gonna be super rusty, but it's just done the exact opposite.
We've had a new manager as well, by the way. That's
Really?
also pretty
I
important
mean, it's
context.
crazy. They beat City, Sporting, Inter twice.
Did they beat Atletico or did they lose it?
Yeah, I think yeah, like 5, 6 wins in a row, 5 wins in a row in the Champions League.
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
Actually,
So
what's the play? I don't know if like what is this type of footy?
we're gonna see everybody get signed for 60 mil from Bodo Glimt, bro. We're just gonna like
No, like 10 years ago, dude, that 2026 Bodo Glimt side, like bro, you didn't watch.
they beat Sporting CP like Sporting Lisbon 3-0. Then they beat Inter twice. Then they beat Atletico. Then they beat City, tied to Dortmund, and yeah, that's when their kind of run began. Before that, they were like the worst in the Champions League.
Crazy, it's crazy.
I guess this format is a bit forgiving, isn't it?
And then obviously Kinski's gonna score a hat trick against Atletico and then send them through.
Skiing, not skiing.
No,
By the way, what did we say about Atletico on that football pitch?
dodgy, hella dodgy.
Oh, gee. We were slipping all over the place. Now they're slipping. Courtois, ex-Atletico keeper, said it himself. He has no reason to,
Yeah,
by the way.
that's the part where I'm like, yeah, there's something dodgy because why has he come up in defense of Barcelona and Spurs essentially? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he has no business having an opinion on that. And Juan Garcia's own goal or Eric Garcia's own goal was the exact same as the Kinski one when he slips. And Van de Ven slips very dodgy, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Extremely dodgy. I was gonna just give me one moment. I was gonna do something here. So we're gonna do something really quick, yeah? I'm throwing a spanner in the works. I'm gonna give you 5 players. You have to guess their ages, okay? In total, I'm allowing you to get five number wrong, right? So like in total, from the five, you can
He's
only get
A.K.A.
five wrong.
Merchant. What do you mean?
Dude, honestly.
Where's
Um
okay?
okay. We're not gonna this shouldn't be too hard. I'm asking you can only get 5 wrong, so of course, like let's say after we add them up, you're only 5 off. And that's allowed. So if you get 6 or more, you're wrong. By the way, this is absolutely made on the spot. Like this is actually
Yeah,
like
we can tell. Yeah, go on.
what do you mean you can tell?
No, no, it's just like sudden like
What did you have something else to say?
no,
About the
no, no,
Champions
we're good, we're good, we're good.
League? No. Tell me, did you have something else to say about the Champions League? Because chat.
Oh, Bayern Munich, they're gonna play their fifth choice goalkeeper. The rest are injured.
Fifth choice goalkeeper, Olise and Kimmich both got purposeful yellows.
Really?
So they're missing the game. Before they knew that they like this keeper situation, they got like no one playing. By the way, so it's like low key Alfonso Davies injury.
It's one. They
What?
won 6-1.
Yeah, but Alfonso Davies, we could see the biggest remontada.
I mean, they got win by 6
But we need
against.
this brother to slip like 4 times, six
Wait,
first
go on,
keeper.
go on, go on, go on, go on with your mini game.
Sergio Roberto.
Sergio Roberto's 28. No, he's old. He's old. He's 31. Wait, am I off? 33.
Okay, you're one off. You're one off. You're one off. Okay, you're one off. You're one off.
32.
He's 34. Chill. Stop talking. Keep talking. It's not helping out. He's born in 1992.
34.
Okay, brother. By the way, that was mad ox right there because you kept saying numbers. Okay. So you currently one off.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark Gahey.
Margay is young, surely. 27.
Look at me, huh?
27.
You're 2 off. He's 25. You only have 2 more allowed mistakes. You have 3 more players. Gerard Martin,
Jordan Martin's young, 22.
24. You're 2 off.
God damn.
Wait, does that mean that you have nothing left? By the way, so you have to get these 2 spot on. Kvaratskhelia.
But these are hard ones. All right, he's 20.
You're right. You're right. Allah, you're right. Okay. Last one. Ansu Mani Fati.
Oh, my days.
This is it.
20. He's either 22 or 21.
You have to get this right. Lock in.
Can you at least tell me if he's 21 or 22?
Dad, you're cheating, innit?
No, but I'm going to go with one of those.
He's not.
Damn, actually, what is he? 23?
23. You lost. Loki. Out of everyone's age you got, who'd you get right? You got the only one you got right was Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
You
Those are some difficult ones, man. Give me some unks.
bro, I gave you what do you mean? You want me to give you unks? How old's Pedro Rodriguez?
Pedro Rodriguez is 37, obviously.
38. Shush, man.
That's
Let me
cool.
check again. No, you done well. You done well.
Wait. How old
No. Cut the pod here.
is Kunde? What are you switching up? How old is Kunde?
No, I'm not switching them. Hands are here.
All right, how old is
No.
Kunde?
Allah Adam how old Kunde is.
Go on.
He's younger than I think.
Just go on then, Mr. Know-It-All.
Dude, I have no idea.
Oh, no, I have an idea.
What the hell? Chill.
Come on.
Dude, what? He's like 27?
There's no way.
I got it right.
Yeah.
Wallah, I didn't. Wallah, man, look at me. This people. Listen. Don't ever equate me to you. We're different people. You know what I mean? I watch football.
No, run. We'll do a quiz.
We'll do a quiz? We're going to run a quiz?
Not right now. Take touch.
Bro, I can't lie. Do you know what the problem is? Okay, we're just going to say it on the pod. This pod, like I hear we're reviewing all of Barca and that, but it was almost too much to review.
I mean, we could have condensed it, to be honest.
No, but I just mean that, like, we got, like, the quizzes, I can see why, like, we got views on them clips.
I mean, we can go back to the quizzes. We can. No? We could, no?
No, of course we could.
Yeah, we can. We'll go back. We'll
Why,
run it.
why not? We can make like a league table.
Good. All right. I mean, look. Maybe next time, we need feedback from the pod. We need if somebody, some weird brother, reached an hour, like let us know. Yeah.
Yo, is it weird if I brother got this deep? I feel uncomfortable. At this
Yeah, why are you
point,
watching, man? Yeah, why are you
at this
watching?
point, at this point, it's a conversation between
No,
us.
like, look. In my opinion, obviously we can condense the Barca chat and go into more of like the Prem stuff. Menu are on
People
fire.
care about per minute, you know?
Yeah, menu are on fire. Like that's a talking point. Carrick. Or we have more pods. Like I think our bigger issue is that we don't do them.
Yeah, I think 'cause we didn't do it as frequent enough, we had too much to catch up on. But yeah, we probably should condense a bunch of stuff. Um, I feel like we're having a board meeting.
No, I mean, like, look. End of the day, we can focus more on Prem. We obviously have like a big opinion about the Prem. We watch it probably more than La Liga.
Yeah.
Arsenal obviously on fire. I mean, in terms of results. But we like there's a good race for top four. Well, we'll talk more about Prem. We'll condense a bunch of stuff
Okay, okay, baby girl.
in the pod, man.
Sorry. It's been good. Thank you for listening.
Shit.